Hey, my name is Leanne, and I'm fascinated with helping women navigate how to eat, move, and care for their bodies. This has taken me on a journey from vegan, keto, high protein to everything in between. I'm a small town holistic nutritionist turned 3-time international bestselling author turned functional medicine practitioner, offering telemedicine services around the globe to women looking to better their health and stop second-guessing themselves. I'm here to teach you how to wade through the wellness noise to get to the good stuff that'll help you achieve your goals. Whether you're seeking relief from chronic ailments, striving for peak performance, or simply eager to live a more vibrant life, this podcast is your go-to resource for actionable advice and inspiration. Together, we'll uncover the interconnectedness of nutrition, movement, sleep, stress management, and mindset, empowering you to make informed choices that support your unique health journey. Think of it as quality time with your bestie mixed with a little med school so you're empowered at your next doctor visit. Get ready to be challenged and encouraged while you learn about your body and how to care for it healthfully. Join me as we embrace vitality, reclaim our innate potential, and discover what it truly means to pursue healthfulness. Hello and welcome back. Today's episode is a special one because we're talking about one of my most important family members, and that's my dog, Coconut. She is 8 years old. She's a healthy, active, loving Doberman. If you've met her in person, you just know that she loves cuddles and she will lean on you and just make you her best friend in moments. She definitely keeps me on my toes every single day. She loves beaches. And she loves eating like her mommy. And she especially loves kombucha. And today I want to talk you through exactly what I feed her, why I feed it, and how you can start thinking differently about your dog's health. It doesn't take a lot of time. I promise to keep this episode under an hour. I think it'll be closer to 30 minutes, though I never know once I get going. Because what we feed our dogs isn't just about kibble or calories. It's about immunity, behavior, digestion, longevity, and a quality of life that many of them are not afforded. We have had, Coconut is our third dog, and we had Lexi, who we rescued. She was around 3 years old when we rescued her. And when she was 14, we were traveling in the RV and we went to a vet in Texas. We drove a long ways because she was not in a good space. I thought we were going to have to put her down that day. Like she was not good. And so we went to this appointment with the Texas vet fully thinking we were going to put the dog down. And he said, like, she doesn't have much time. Her hips are giving out. And I don't foresee there being anything you can do. There's just so much inflammation in the hip joint and there's so much deterioration. And I just thought, well, if a client had come to me with this concern, I would know what to do as a practitioner. So I just did that thing. I'm like, give me 2 weeks, give me my dog back. And I started researching. And that's when up until that point, I just thought, unfortunately, like the vets know best and kibble has got to be good for them because it's all they eat. And so like, we're good, right? Wrong. Absolutely wrong. So now we do a foundational diet for our dog, Coconut. Oh, and just to kind of complete the story, Lexi ended up living another 3 years as opposed to 2 weeks with the changes that I made for her. And when we got Coconut, that was around that time where Lexi was not doing well. When we got Coconut, I made a conscious effort at that point to feed all the dogs differently and to do better. And so Coconut has grown up on a very different diet than when Lexi and Pebbles had because I knew better, so I did better. And so we really start with the foundation of her food, and then we add fresh kibble or fresh food on top of that. And then we add supplemental support depending on goals. So very much like a human, right? Like the basics are, avoid sugar, avoid a ton of caffeine, right? And then the building on top of that is what nutrients do we need specifically for goals? And then what supplements do we need to supplement some of the additional goals that we have that cannot be fully achieved with food? So let's talk about the foundation. Okay, so that's the kibble. Now you can go back and forth about whether or not kibble is better or dry food or raw food. We've tried all of those with Coconut specifically, and she does not do good on raw. We've tried many different options and it just doesn't work for her. So I found the company Open Farm, and I am really, really impressed with the way that they do things. It's made with human grade ingredients, ethically sourced meats, no fillers, no byproducts, and you can trace every ingredient back to its source. And that matters a lot to me. I'm not paid to say this. Open Farm doesn't even know I exist. I buy it on Amazon every couple of weeks and she gets her kibble. And I really like the transparency behind Open Farm's sourcing. And they really show you exactly where the proteins and produce come from. And they use certified humane meat, which is a huge issue for the kibble. And they test the glyphosate in every batch, which is important to me. Like looking at issues that affect dogs, I think glyphosate is probably the number one issue that affects dogs' health overall. And so it was really important for me to find a low glyphosate food with properly sourced ingredients. And because Dobermans have issues with their heart when they're not having grains, I chose a dog food that does have grains. Looking back, I think some of Pebbles, she was a Pomeranian. We fed her grain-free dog food throughout her life, and she did end up having a significant heart issue that ended up taking her life at the point of her having multiple heart attacks a day. And it was terrible to be a part of, to just hold her and have her spasming in my hands. It was yuck. So when Pebbles and Lexi passed away, I started doing more research into the kibble, and that's when I moved Coconut away from the grain-free onto a grain-filled option. Yes. Now, Coconut has a couple of sensitivities. Unfortunately, we got her after she had like a ton of different medical schmaxines. And I would do things differently if I had a puppy, but she got a lot of sensitivities likely from that. And you might disagree with me. That's fine. But I've seen enough to know that for her, especially, she has such a strong reaction to one vaccine even. So when we go to get her rabies or those sorts of things, we really have to space things out and take a big precaution for her because her immune system is so sensitive. And these things don't just happen. Like there's a reason for them. She's always lived in a toxin-free home, and like there are core issues here. And so what I'll do with her kibble is I'll soak it in a little bit of water or bone broth, and that's kind of the base of her meal. And then I'll add fresh food, usually throughout the day, because she likes the TREATs. I would say it, but she's going to hear it and then go crazy and we'll never finish this episode. So why I add the fresh food is that it boosts nutrient density. So kibble is like shelf stable, heat processed, often lacks enzymes and the phytonutrients found in fresh food. Though she couldn't do the raw meat, she does really, really well on the kibble. And so by adding fresh food, we can incorporate nutrients like vitamin K, vitamin C, B. It adds antioxidants. It adds anti-inflammatory compounds. It provides essential aminos for better digestion. It also supports digestive health by supporting the microbiome. We add a lot of prebiotic foods. Like I said, she is obsessed with kombucha. Anytime I open up a bottle, she's like all over it. She loves prebiotic foods, fermented foods. She's crazy about pickles. Like this dog just knows what's good for her. And the fresh food is also going to reduce inflammation, oxidative stress. You know that fresh foods are full of antioxidants, far more than some dried up kibble. And the antioxidants counteract with inflammation caused by environmental toxins, poor air quality, stress, etc. Our home has the best air quality. Like the amount of filtration we have in this home and the testing that I do, I'm not concerned by that in any means, but dogs get stressed over crazy things. And so we just want to make sure that we have her covered. And I think too, adding fresh food is fun. Like it improves palatability and she enjoys it and it's flavorful and she has joy over her meal. And that's important to me too. Also, studies show that even adding as little as 10 to 20% fresh food to a dog's diet can reduce cancer risk, extend lifespan, and it's about enhancing and not replacing their diet. And so here are all the foods that Coconut loves to eat. Now, she prefers raw, but you can also lightly steam them and cool them and just put them over top of their kibble. So things like broccoli, cauliflower, radishes, carrots, green beans, zucchini, pumpkin. Now, Coconut hates pumpkin, but I know that my sister's dog, Franklin, is obsessed with pumpkin. Cucumber, sweet potato. So like sweet potato, obviously it needs to be cooked. Coconut's not a huge fan of sweet potato or pumpkin or like any starches she doesn't super love. Corn she doesn't like. But sweet potato can be great for potassium. Like zucchini is super gentle on the gut. So if I find like her bowel movements when we go for a walk or just, kind of mucousy or like chunky and she's kind of constipated, I'll often add zucchini. Radishes are great for liver support. Anytime I touch a bag of radishes, she knows like that crunchy sound and she's all over it. She just wants that. Cauliflower is great for fiber and vitamin C. So if I find like her bowel movements are like a little bit soft, I'll add some cauliflower and that'll do the trick. Now, fruits we can do in tiny, like a little bit of moderation. She maybe has a thumb size of fruit a day. It's not a lot. And she's a big dog. She's almost 80 pounds. So blueberries are great for eye support, brain support. Strawberries are rich in vitamin C and helpful for the immune. Apples are awesome. She's very picky about the apple. It has to be like a bitter apple. Great for dental health. Awesome for fiber. You just want to make sure that there's no seeds. Banana, very small amount because it is so high sugar. Oftentimes I'll give her the green banana, like fresh from the store, and we'll cut up some of that. And it's very small. Like I probably give her a thumbnail size when I have some. And that's just really good for potassium and prebiotics. She is obsessed with cantaloupe, watermelon. That's all great for hydration and antioxidants. And then fermented foods. These are by far her favorite. Like she could polish them off, no problem. That and coconut, she's obsessed. But you have to start small and kind of work your way up. Sauerkraut, she loves Bubby's sauerkraut. She's crazy about it. That and cabbage, but the sauerkraut, next level. Plain, raw, no spices, and great for overall flora support and detoxification. We don't have any dairy in the house, but something like kefir could also be great if plain and unsweetened. When I do get like some cashew kefir and it's plain, unsweetened, no flavors, I will give her some of that. Yogurt also, she really, really loves dairy-free yogurt, and that's rich in calcium and probiotics. And then you can get into, and I don't because she's super sensitive to them, cooked turkey, chicken, beef, or raw, but she just doesn't do the raw well. I will add bone broth, like I said, to her kibble to just hydrate the kibble so it's not so crunchy and dehydrating. She responds not so great to liver, but liver like freeze dried or likely cooked is rich in vitamin A and B12, and a little bit a week is great. Sardines are a good one. We were doing sardines for a really long time, but she's pretty sensitive to sardines and anything like shelled. It's crazy. I'm talking about my dog. This is how much I know about her. I'm a nutritionist. What do you expect? But she was not good on sardines, but sardines are great for dogs. And if I had another dog, I would give it to them. They're rich in omegas, awesome for skin, coat, brain. Okay, coconut loves egg membrane. So when you're breaking open an egg and there's that film inside the eggshell, she goes crazy for this. Anytime I break open an egg, she gets the membrane and I just pull it apart and give her some of it. I would avoid foods that dogs shouldn't have, like grapes, raisins, onion, garlic, avocado, including the pit, the skin, macadamia nuts, chocolate, caffeine, xylitol. You don't want any of that stuff. None of that stuff. So that's kind of the base of her food. And that's what I give her on a daily basis. And it really is just determined by what I'm eating. Like if I'm cutting up a cucumber or I have like some peels of like kiwi, or I've just cut a cabbage head and I have the core, I'll just kind of chop all those things up and put it in her bowl because I have it available. So it's not a planned thing. It's just whatever fresh food I have, I'll give it to her. But you can see it's no like popcorn and chips and hot dogs. Like that's not what I'm saying here. I'm saying the goal of nutrient density in addition to the kibble that's hydrated. And that's the base of her meals. Giveaway time. If you're in your 40s or 50s and feel like your energy disappeared with your hormones, I understand. That dragging, foggy, where did my motivation go feeling is very real. This is when I recommend Energize from Make Wellness. It's a peptide-based formula designed to support natural energy, drive, and clarity without the crash. It contains a balanced energy blend with amino acids like L-tyrosine and L-leucine to support dopamine and focus. And there's even ginseng peptides to help your body adapt to stress. I take it when I need to feel like me again, and within 15 minutes, I do. To enter to win your own, you can go to healthfulpursuit.com/make, create a free account, and you'll be entered to win a sample of Energize. I choose winners every month and text them directly. Again, that's healthfulpursuit.com/make. Sign up now and get ready to get your spark back. Then we have the supplements. So let's get into it. This is really where the magic happens. There are a bunch of things that I give her. You don't need to be this crazy with it. It works for us. It's worked for us for many, many years. I would not change it. I love it. So I'm not affiliated with any of these companies. I purchase these items usually during Cyber Monday or Black Friday or whatever we're calling it. So MHV makes a parasite pack that I love. And in there, it comes with multi-essentials. And this is the daily multivitamin mineral formula for dogs. It basically supports energy, metabolism, immune, and a general well-being. It contains herbs like spirulina, alfalfa, kelp, which are rich in micronutrients. And unlike synthetic pet vitamins, which you'll just buy like powders or capsules, this is a bioavailable and herbal-based blend. When I give this to her, so she'll go to her puppy pals like boarding for a couple weeks if we're away, and we'll pick her up and her coat just doesn't look good. And within 2 days of getting her back on this, because I don't trust them to like give her droppers and do it correctly. So when she's away, she doesn't get her supplements. But when she's with us, she does. And when I bring back the multi-essentials, I notice a difference in her coat in like 2 days. It's shinier. Her energy is even, like, it's great. It's so great. The reason why I incorporated the NHV pack is because when we moved into a house, there are a lot of cats in the neighborhood and she eats the Tootsie Rolls. She's all about it. And she kept getting sick. And I was like, I can't keep going to the vet. This is ridiculous. And I hate to say it, but I haven't met a vet yet that has a care for animals and that they think of root cause. They just don't. And so I had to for my dog's sake. Also in that kit is NHV milk thistle, and this is a critical liver support supplement. The liver is your dog's powerhouse for detoxification, especially important for dogs who are on flea and tick preventatives, meds, or exposed to mold in the home or toxins in the cleaning materials. They are so sensitive. And her tear discharge and eye situations totally clear up when she gets back on the milk thistle. And the liver is often overlooked, but it is absolutely essential for long-term health and hormone balance for the dog. Like that's an essential. It's not going away. Then we have the Inulin-PK from NHV, and this is a prebiotic and antiparasitic supplement that supports gut and microbial balance. So I weave this in. It's not something that I do all the time, but my dog is exposed to all sorts of other animals that come in and out of our backyard. There was actually a cat drinking out of the pool like an hour ago. So she's exposed to parasites, and those parasites are going to come into our home, and then I'm going to get, like, I just don't even want to. So this gives me a peace of mind that I'm supporting her from the inside out instead of relying on the pharmaceutical options that are presented to me when I fight for a $400 parasite test multiple times a year, and then they give me this medication that just makes her feel worse. So I incorporate the inulin. Probably I'll put it on her for a month, and then a bottle will run out, and then I'll wait a month, and then I'll put it back on, and I'll just kind of be intuitive with her. And I swear to you, I spent so much time with this dog. I know what she needs. It's so weird. It's so weird. I'm sure parents feel even more so with like their babies, but I don't have a baby. So this is how I imagine it feeling like, but way more with a human. So those are the supplements from NHV. And then there's also a company called Ion, and they make gut support for pets. And this isn't a probiotic. It's a soil-derived supplement that supports the tight junctions of the gut lining. So it helps protect against glyphosate and other environmental damage that contributes to leaky gut and chronic inflammation. My dog loves eating grass, and it's always the grass in the homes that have just sprayed for pests. And I try to catch her, but she's smelling and sniffing and eating. And like, I just don't catch everything. So this will protect as much as I can against all the random stuff she tries to eat. So I use Ion myself, and I saw how much it helped my digestion. And so I got the pet version for my dog. And since adding it, Coconut's seasonal itchiness has really disappeared. Like she doesn't itch and scratch as much, and she's far more resilient overall. And it's just a squirt that I add to her food, and she takes it all. She doesn't care. CBD. So I used to use Eaton Hemp CBD for my dog, but then they didn't make CBD anymore. So I had to find another company, and I found Vitality Organic. Great. Full spectrum, all the stuff that you look for in a positive CBD oil. And I use this primarily as an anti-inflammatory support in a very, very low dose for her because she doesn't have any presentations for this, but it's kind of like an insurance plan against future aging. And so I brought that in. She's been taking CBD oil since she came home, and I will continue with that. No problem for nervous system balance, sleep quality, mobility, all of those things. So important. Ground pumpkin seeds is something that I do. I grind these fresh every week and store them in a jar. They're high in zinc, fiber, magnesium, and it's called it's like cucurbitation. I can never say it correctly, but it's basically a compound that helps to paralyze parasites. And I will do this with clients too. And it's such a great way to annihilate parasites. It also really helps with pancreatic function and reducing inflammatory cytokines in the digestive tract. And so when I added this was like the key piece that helped her gut distress when we moved into a house, because I just wasn't used to her being in a residential space where on the boat, she just didn't have the same exposures as in a home. And I found we were in a home, she needed far more support ongoing. And the pumpkin seeds, as well as the inulin, is what I brought in once we were residential. Coconut oil, she's obsessed. I think I should probably only give her half a teaspoon, but I give her probably 2 tablespoons a day. She loves it so much. And it supports brain health, antimicrobial defense, skin, coat. She's obsessed with it. It helps with nutrient absorption because there's fat in the food that she's eating, and fat is required for fat soluble vitamins, and it even supports thyroid function. Thyroid is a big thing to go for dogs, and so that's always in the back of my mind. I use the coconut oil from Costco, and she just loves it, and I give it to her. And then last but certainly not least, this is another supplement that I started with and then started giving it to my dog because I've seen amazing benefits with it, and that's Madeira Pet Collagen. So it's a hydrolyzed collagen supplement specifically formulated for pets, containing type 2 collagen, hyaluronic acid, and chondroitin sulfate. So I give it to her because collagen production naturally declines as dogs age, just like humans, which can impact joint mobility, skin elasticity, and overall vitality. So Coconut's 8 now, and I want her to stay ahead of all that joint stiffness and age-related decline that you see. In fact, there's another Doberman in our area. We see him probably once or twice a week, and he's the same age as Coconut, and he can barely walk anymore. And I'm like, absolutely not. People still think she's 4, and let's keep it that way. So I prefer the Madeira Pet Collagen over other stuff because of the liquid biocell. And I know that it's far more bioavailable than other options. So that's what I choose. And the goal really is to support the joint health and long-term mobility for that. And that's more of a insurance supplement, just like the CBD of like, aging is happening. We know what's going to happen. So if you go to Madeira, MODER, and you use the referral code Leanne 25, you can get $25 off your order on that. If your skin feels dull, your hair is thinning, or you're tired of wasting your money on collagen products that don't deliver, this is your next step. So as many of you have probably heard at this point, Madeira, my very favorite collagen brand that outperformed every other collagen on the market, filed for bankruptcy, and the collagen was taken off the market immediately. Expected to return in 3 to 4 months under a different brand that originally owns the patent, but I can't wait that long for myself and definitely not for my clients. So I did what I always do when things change in the wellness world. I dove deep into the research and I looked at every collagen option out there. And I started to ask a bigger question as I sought for the perfect collagen. And it was, why do so many of these collagen products underperform? And what can we do to actually see results? And what I created out of that process is something that I'm really proud to share with you. It's called the 4-week Inside Out Reset. And it's not just a swap in replacement for BioCell. It's a full system designed to restore the conditions your body needs to regenerate healthy skin, strong hair, and resilient nails from the inside out. It's a 3-pillar protocol that goes beyond collagen, focusing on structural support with targeted peptides and collagen, cellular and metabolic rejuvenation so that your body can actually use those ingredients, and topical care for your skin and scalp to reinforce results on the outside. I built this reset using the tools that I've tested in client protocols since late 2024 and personally used around that same time. It includes the exact products I recommend now, why they work, and how they compare to other brands. Seriously, there's over 10 pages of a collagen comparison of all of the top brands and how they work, how they're structured, and my concerns over them. And most importantly, I outline how to use these specific recommended products to get real results. You can download the full reset guide now. It's totally free. Just go to mygrowinghair.com. It's clear, science-backed, and shows you exactly what I'm using and why. Again, it's mygrowinghair.com. And if you decide to do the reset, inside the guide, I include my personal phone number. Just shoot me a text, and we're going to start connecting every week on the reset to just see how things are going for you. I'm committing to doing this for 3 months, and I'd love to support you through it. Again, that's mygrowinghair.com. Okay, so we talked about the kibble that we use, the extra treats that we add on top of it to make her happy and bring in more nutrient density. And like, why do I do all of this? Because I want Coconut to live a long, healthy life. And I want her to age gracefully and avoid preventable diseases and help her feel good in her body. There's really no extra effort that I feel on a daily basis when I'm cutting up produce for myself that I put some aside for my dog. And I make a bunch of orders for her supplements, and then they sit in a cabinet. It's literally her cabinet, and I put it on her food. And it's just something we do because I've seen the deterioration of a dog that we could have cared for better. And I don't want to be faced with that later and be like, oh, I wish there was more that I could have done. Like, no, I practice prevention with my clients. I practice prevention with myself and my family. Of course, I'm going to pass it on to my dog. And I just believe in supporting detox, digestion, and giving her the nutrients that she won't get from the kibble alone. Like even the good kind of kibble. And more than anything, I just believe in paying attention. Like she cares for me so deeply and gives me so much attention that it's hard to ignore her mood, energy, poop, behavior. When she wakes me up at 5 o'clock in the morning because she needs to go outside because she ate something weird the day before, like I don't want that for me either. And so let's just like get on the same team, Team Coconut, and care for her deeply. So that's Coconut's daily routine. So it's the open farm food, real food add-ins, and targeted supplements that support her liver, gut, nervous system, and immunity. You don't have to do everything at once. Like I'm not sharing this to say, look at me, my dog is so cared for and I spend hundreds of dollars. I really don't. I would just like, if you could start with two things, I would try pumpkin seeds. Okay, we just get the organic pack from Costco and I grind up a handful every week and give her like a little scoop. And I would try to find a liquid multi. I really like the one that I mentioned earlier, the MHV Multi Essentials, because it's whole food source nutrients. And look for food that respects your dog's biology. Like for example, with the Dobermans, I'm not going to feed her grain-free food. And if you have any questions, feel free to DM me on Instagram at Leanne Vogel. And I'd love to hear how you feed your dog, what supplements you give your dog, and like what your goals are for your dog if you have them. So thanks for tuning in and give your pup a little hug for me. Okay. I'll see you back here for another episode. Bye. Thanks for listening to the Healthful Pursuit Podcast. Join us next Tuesday for another episode of the show. If you're looking for free resources, there are a couple of places you can go. The first to my blog, healthfulpursuit.com, where you're going to find loads of recipes. The second is a free parasite protocol that I've put together for you that outlines symptoms, testing, and resources to determine whether or not you have a parasite, plus a full protocol to follow to eradicate them from your life if you need to. That's available at healthfulpursuit.com/parasites. And last but certainly not least, a full list of blood work markers to ask your doctor for so that you can get a full picture of your health. You can grab that free resource by going to healthfulpursuit.com/labs. The Healthful Pursuit podcast, including show notes and links, provides information in respect to healthy living, recipes, nutrition, and diet, and is intended for informational purposes only. The information provided is not a substitute for medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment, nor is it to be construed as such. We cannot guarantee that the information provided on the Healthful Pursuit podcast reflects the most up-to-date medical research. Information is provided without any representation or warranties of any kind. Please consult a qualified health practitioner with any questions you may have regarding your health and nutrition program.